in a situation where she had to be very responsible at a very young age for a lot of things, a lot of situations that at that age, in that group, in that time, and even in the 80s, going into the 90s, it was a rough life, but she sustained, maintained, went through whatever she had to go through. Has two beautiful children that I know of that have grown up to be absolute wonderful persons in the community. Well, their own community anyway. Oh, Haley is the daughter's name. And I want to say Benjamin, but I'm wrong about his name, and I know I'm wrong. It's not Benjamin. But anyways, yeah. So, well, anyways, this is Eric. Hey, all right. So, at any rate, I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean. What does that mean when you cross your arms like that?
It means plus sign.
A plus sign?
Yeah, with your arms.
So we're gonna add to our muscle, huh? All right, cool. So we're doing that right there. So I'm gonna set this right here. That way we can do that. I'm gonna have a cigarette. And so that's awesome. That is awesome. Here in about 3 or 4 days, we should have Christmas ornaments in the mail, UPS or some crap like that.
Roxy?
Mm-mm. Not our Roxanne. My Roxanne. Tony knows who she is, but she's not his Roxanne either. She'd be more, I would say, of Christian and Scott's Roxy. But she would never really went by Roxy. Funny enough, and if she did, I don't know about it. And more to the point, a lot of us, and I'm going to make this brief. I'm going to make this real brief and mention it one time and one time only. I'm going to leave it alone, walk it away, and nobody has to worry about ever discussing it. This is a one-time deal. But understand, Jeff, Tim, you guys, you know me, but you don't know me. And I know you, but I don't know you. But I wanted to, badly, desperately, to be a part of what you guys had going on. But I couldn't get down in that, and y'all couldn't get down, and we're out or up, either way, wherever. But I know at this point, y'all have come a long way from where we was. Dig it? So, that. But I miss your brother. Every day. That's all I'm going to say. Much respect. Either way. All right, so moving on. If you just have a little bit of faith and trust and know that it's going to be provided for you, then and you wait and you be patient. And just don't work with your own timing. Do whatever you got to do that you have to be responsible to take care of. For instance, animals. That's a good example. We've got the dogs. We've got a couple of cats now. We got a home that we're looking after. I've got extra. Oh, they did. Yes. We got gifted and blessed with 2 kittens a couple of weeks ago by one of our nieces, Jordan, and the family. Who had them to begin with?
Will.
Will and Becky Will?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that would be Mr. Tower. Mr. Tower. Okay, they had a couple of cats they needed to let loose of, so they came over here. I told them, look, I don't know if I'm really ready for cats just yet. We just got an extra dog that we weren't prepared for, but they brought him to me anyway. Even though I let them know we weren't prepared, it happens. So what? It's all good. She's here. We're happy. She's happy. She's learning. She's actually slowed down quite a bit. About 2 weeks. We've had her 3 weeks and change. Just not quite a month. But within 2 weeks' time, she's already calmed down a little bit. Not enough, but she's getting there. And she's got the freedom of just running around outdoors in the backyard, so she's happy with that. Good old Harmony. But the kittens. I was concerned about the cats. See, I'm looking at my phone when I should be looking up here too. That was rude of me. I apologize. Let's do this instead. There we go. We'll set that right there. Haha! Now we got a picture-in-picture, baby. 5 different ways from Sunday. Dude, if I had 5 other different devices like some of them folks have on the videos, I would feel stupid. That's just an excessive waste.
You couldn't do it.
I would lose my mind. I can't multitask like that. I'm having a rough time now, believe it. You're lucky I'm just sitting still talking, but in my head it's like I'm everywhere else doing everything else all at the same time going, are you done yet? Can you take a deep breath and just hang on for no, I got stuff I gotta do.
You're digressing.
Yeah, did I leave the dog outside? So the cats.
Probably. You leave Sasha out all the time.
The world of Uncle Gino. Yeah. And Auntie Paula. That's the thing now. See, you should have been streaming. When those moments in life that happen, when you're out walking down the street by yourself, taking the dog for a walk for that matter, and for no apparent reason the wind brushes your face just the right way to make you turn just slightly enough to notice somebody else out of the corner of your ear that just fell down for no apparent reason, unintentionally sprained or broke their ankle, or you turn just enough time to see somebody else deck somebody else, and you're given an option right in that moment. Several options. Are you going to continue to walk away and turn your head back with the wind? Are you going to hold the wind and continue to watch and still do nothing? Or are you going to still watch, say something, even as you're still walking away? Are you going to stop with the wind, say something, or throw something from a distance at whoever's beating up whom, and then run? Okay, some folks are like that. The fight or flight thing, it's okay. It's just a matter of timing. Sometimes you got to stand your ground even when you don't want to, and you're scared to death. You do it anyway. Sometimes you find when you stood your ground, within a matter of seconds, you gain confidence beyond that of a superhero. And you can lift 2 cars at the same time by yourself. Stand your ground and know that if you're in the right and you know in your gut you're in the right, and you've done nothing wrong to deserve what's coming, stand your ground and maintain. Or are you going to be one of those folks who turns with the wind, drops what they've got in their hands, takes a couple of jogging steps over to where somebody's getting hit, get the people off of each other, figure out what's going on, and decide who's getting clubbed first, or if they're both going to get clubbed for being stupid? Welcome to Flint. Some of us don't play at all. Look, I know fellas that if they turn with the wind and you just annoyed them, they're not going to say a damn word. They're not even going to turn around and walk to you. They're not going to try and help nobody. They're going to pull out their little Glock. They're going to pull out their little Hemi. They're going to pull out their little 9. And not little. This is Flint, baby.
Or they pull out their baseball bats.
And if you don't see somebody who's got some kind of a weapon, you'll see either a knife, a large, or a few of them, from different areas of the body. And they're not going to attempt to kill you. No. They're just going to look at you and say, you already know. You need to go. If that person doesn't stop beating on the other person, now you're hit. And I'm done explaining shit.
Anyway.
So, the cats. Back to the damn cats. I told you on the thing, it's ramblings. So, and ain't nobody come on my thing to nobody loves a Gino. It's okay. Everybody loves me. I love me. That's what matters. And as long as you love yourself, you're good too. You gotta have some love for yourself. The cats wound up proving me wrong. They're useful. They wound up last night catching 2 mice. One got eaten. The other one got put in a McDonald's child's meal box. and sat there after about 3 hours, still alive. And we got it high in the box. We hotboxed the mouse. Yeah, great timing on the laughter. That's great. Oh, so took the box outside across the road and let the mouse out. Whether or not it's still alive, I don't know. But I guess I'm going to go ahead and, since I can't get nobody to, made the invites, it's there, and
It takes a bit, baby. You'll get it.
it's been almost 15 minutes, though. Guess I should have been streaming. Oh, I am streaming.
It takes a little
Yeah.
bit, but they'll come.
Oh, if you build it, they will come.
They will watch.
If you, oh, nope, stop. Yeah, YouTube, right. Hopefully, if I have offended anyone, you'll get past it, get through it, get over it, and beyond ourselves, it's going to be okay. If I offended you, I'm not trying to apologize for anything I've said. I stand by my words, as any man with any kind of dignity or integrity should. Any kind of integrity or dignity. But it takes a lot to earn and grow that, not just from and with others, but for yourself and with yourself. Keep that in mind. Yeah, a lot of what do they call them these days? Easter eggs. Yeah. Thank you, Easter Bunny. Commercials. Let's do something like that. Why not? So how do I do the screen thing? Oh yeah, I come over here, and I'm gonna do this right here. And then, how do I? How do we do that again?
I don't know.
So I want to. What was I doing? Oh yeah. Wait, I don't need that. I need this one. Ha. There we go. I did it. I kind of figured it out. Okay, now this is what I want to do. Right? Bring that like that. Now I can see what I'm doing over here. Now come over here. Right there's good. All right, so I'm gonna overlap. Bring that in. And bring that in. Now I can bring this over here. Then I'm gonna go do this so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Okay, fine, we'll do that. Yeah, that's a lot better. And dashboard and did I first 19 minutes? Didn't I delete that?
Mm-hmm.
That should be deleted. I don't know. Anyways, come over here. Uh-oh. What did I do with StreamYard? Oh, yeah, it's over here. All right, so I'm going to come over here, and we're going to search. All right. Everybody likes to talk about, I'm going to give a subject, because we got to have a topic of some sort. I've been on here long enough. We'll do the Mandela effect for the start. That, along with the butterfly effect, and a couple other things. Some of this stuff is actually real.
Very real.
There, and you guys can kind of see what I'm typing.
Not the people on Facebook, no.
No, the people on Facebook can't, and that's okay. All right. All right. These are some of the commercials, and I'm on YouTube streaming at the moment. Where this is commercials from the 1930s. And these commercials actually are way different from now.
Hey, what a pretty park. There's no time to
How
look.
about some
We're on the way
volume?
to Mrs. Smith. Here we are, but it's the back door for us. We'll find her in the kitchen. What did I tell you?
Yep.
Bring her dishes. Look here, Mrs. Smith. Hold on to that towel. Let those darn dishes dry by themselves. 15 minutes
The
later.
big one.
God, I suppose I should have known. Look at that streaky
Down.
dish pan film. In the movies, we can take film off this way. But since you haven't Hollywood technique, Andy, let this smart woman show you another more practical way. She uses dress, remarkable new suds improvement.
It's not
And
showing.
here's what happens when these dishes have been rinsed and allowed to dry by themselves.
Is it?
No trace of scummy dish pan film. They're sparkling clear without polishing.
Well,
Now, look at those two prices side by side. You can see the difference yourself.
how about if I do that? No. That's not helping. Well, for crying out loud. Here. No. That ain't right. I don't need all that. Oh, hey. Uh-oh. What's going on here? What's going on here? Oh. All right, so that's what's going on here. Let me see what I gotta do. Stream. Okay, fine. I'm gonna stream it on. Here we go. Yeah, I'm a green thumb.
And green thumbs grow a lot of things.
Hey everybody, Callie here.
Here we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, connecting streaming software. How do I do that? Doesn't really matter. I ain't got nobody. What you doing, Eric? What videos? You mind me asking? What videos you watching? What kind of videos? Oh, random. Okay.
I don't even look at what if nobody was by.
Oh, okay. Right on. Cool. All right. I don't know if that's working as far as the. I don't know. Figures. So do that. And
Did you turn it off or?
yeah, I see it, honey. Yeah, I did. There we go. All right. That was cool, man.
and it's not going to do because you're on a different live stream.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm trying to figure out how to make you guys be able to see what it is that I'm playing on my video here. Shoot. So,
You and Tony can sit here tonight and figure that out.
all right, well, I'm going to play it anyway. But this right here is from the 30s, commercials.
Say, what a pretty park. But there's no time for loping.
Tell you
We're on
what.
the way to Mrs. Smith. Here we are, but it's the back door for us. We'll find her in the kitchen.
Better
What did
yet,
I tell you? She's doing her dishes.
there.
Look here, Mrs. Smith. Hold on to that towel. Let those darn dishes dry by themselves. 15 minutes later. God. I suppose
This is from the
Look at
1930s.
that streaky dish pan film. In the movies, we can take film off this way. But since you haven't Hollywood technique handy, let this smart woman show you another more practical way. She uses breath, remarkable new suds improvement. And here's what happens when these dishes have been rinsed and allowed to dry by themselves. See? No trace of scummy dish pan film. They're sparkling clear without polishing. Now, look at those two glasses side by side.
Let me go ahead
You
and
can see the difference yourself. Ask your dealer for breath. Remember, you must be completely satisfied or return the box and get double your money back.
well, that's one commercial.
What? Keeping the coffee in the icebox?
Keeps it fresh.
Yes, Mr. Jones, it's a new kind of coffee. Roasted by a new secret process. And
Now, keep in mind, in the 1930s, it was a very masculine time. And women were just, I don't even know if they were ready to, they had already gotten the vote in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Like 1910, somewhere in there, 1915. So this is the 1930s, so they already got their vote. Equal rights and all that was still up and running and making a move forward, and with a hard press, and a lot of the male generation at that time were all about making sure there was funds, there was plenty of money, and if you were into banking or any kind of white collar movement, then you were doing quite well, but you had a lot of sacrifices to make of your time and your soul. And the housewives, what?
Still don't get paid.
And the housewives still don't get paid. No, they get paid in joy and suffering. Yeah, well, that's the truth. Because housewives, it's a job in itself to keep a home, take care of children, make sure everyone's fed, making certain all the bills are paid, making certain her husband understands that this child over here done got on my last nerve, and if I touch him, I'm going to kill him. Not only that, but she also makes sure to remind him, hey, we're low on this, we're low on that, we're going to need fundage. And in the 30s, they didn't ask their men for money. They were grateful for what they had to begin with. And they did whatever they had to do just to keep the house happy. Because if dad was unhappy, everybody was unhappy then. Nowadays, you only hear the phrase, if mama's not happy, nobody's happy. Well, it didn't used to be like that either. And things, young folks, have changed even more drastically than you're seeing now. Long before you were even thought of. You are the great-great-great-grandchildren of people who were very hardy, very strong, very set in their ways and their values, very hardworking, very focused. They were about earning their income, taking care of their family, keeping a family together no matter what you had to go through. Even if the guy was abusive or the woman was abusive. Either way you look at it. If they weren't abusive to their kids, even better. But a lot of kids went through a lot of pain and suffering because their parents were abusive. But the thing is, you didn't have CPS and all that crap back in the day.
Lady Bird took an
You
the food
went
stamp down.
through whatever you had to go through, and you survived it, whether you liked it or not. In the Great Depression is what they call it. The Great Depression, they lost, stock market tanked. People jumped from the building, committed suicide out the windows. So a lot of people gave up their lives because they lost their entire future savings, and their grandchildren had nothing to look forward to. But their grandkids, they fixed that by going to work like their great grandparents did, steadily and heartily. And in the 20s, in the late 1800s, even between 1870 something to early 1905, 1910, there were children working in mills under the age of 10. Above the age of 5.
Just enough to pay 'em.
Some of them were actually in their early teens and were managers training these kids on how to work the machinery. Yeah, kids. They weren't in school. They stayed away from school, so they had to work to earn the money that they needed to support the family that they couldn't support even on dad's 3 jobs. And mom has 7 or 8 kids to take care of at home. She ain't got time for nothing, not even sleep. If a woman got more than 3 hours sleep, then
Well, you
she
also
got lucky.
have to take into account that back then they had more than just 2 to 4 children. They had
Right.
close to between 12
Right.
and 20.
So even back then, they had already started what you guys consider to be climate control, when in actuality, y'all being duped. And I'm going to switch this camera around so you can see my face. Y'all being duped. You're being fooled. Climate control is not about necessarily just the environment, the greenhouse effect, and all that stuff, as far as gas emissions, corrosion, erosion from naturals. And they control the weather with machinery that they've got robotics going on. I'm telling you the truth. It's been going on for years and years and years. There's been
Well,
manipulation, and this climate control thing, let me stay on track, is not about just the climate of the environment, but the climate of the number of people on our planet. Population control. They're trying to level off the emissions that we've already put out there to screw our entire environment up. Trees aren't just being cut down, they're dying on their own. The oceans aren't losing fish because of just chemicals. Fish are dying on their own. All kinds of fish. We've lost so many different kinds of species over the last few centuries. We'll never see them again. And if we do, where were they hiding? Think about it. Just like what they call the abyss, where according to what's written in, well, what we've been told is written in this books of Enoch, as well as what we've been told is written in the scriptures, which a lot of people are going to be mad at me about this, but it's not necessarily about the Bible being the basic instructions before leaving earth. It's about what's underneath what's in those written words. And those written words have been beaten to a pulp. Like Jesus at the stump before he got the crown of thorns on his head, they beat the snot out of him and he bled for us. He bled for us so we wouldn't have to. Yet there's still consequence. Every action's got a reaction. My understanding is this: what I grew up on and cut my teeth on when it came to spiritual and understanding any kind of deity or religious belief system, because they all have their own little system, a program, a conditioning situation, control. Power and control. Forget about money. Money is part of it, yeah, but it's minimal, minuscule. And boy, I'm going to be surprised if I don't have some groups of people knocking on my door in black suits eventually. But yeah, I need to do this because I'm talking to the live stream on the YouTube as well. But this is commercials from the 1930s. What I'm saying is this: the Bible's been manipulated so many ways from Sunday and Saturday and middle of the week too, that it's no longer what it was meant to be to begin with. The original translations don't add up to what we have now. And the newer translations are meant to supposedly help others in this era, in this generation, understand and comprehend what was written to begin with. All right? these translations from that language into this language, because in the scripture it even says. And I had a friend once who had a 11th century Bible. The closest I've been able to come to that, and I suggest this to anybody, and you're going to have to figure out how to learn how to read it, because it's worded in such a way and the letters are so unique that it takes you back to almost not French colonial, but Old English before the Dark Ages kind of writing style. All right, so you'll have to figure out how to learn how to read it, but it's called the Geneva, Geneva, Geneva Bible. It's the closest thing I've come to the a literal translation from the original Aramaic. And there was also a language before the Aramaic, before the written word, was word of mouth. You passed on to your children the knowledge and understanding and wisdom you had gained while they were growing up, before they were even thought of, what you had learned from your youth into the time they were born, and beyond that. As the children keep coming, the more you grow, the more they have to learn. So you sit back and you counsel every day, every night, every morning. You got a routine, spend time. This is what they did then. We can't do that now because ain't nobody got time for nothing. You've got so much stuff to do. There's a song I used to sing with my siblings in our quartet back in the 80s. Well, let me go through it. For 40 long years, God's people journeyed through the wilderness, searching for Canaan, his blessed promised land. They never got too hungry, Lord. They never got too thirsty. But the more that God kept blessing them, the more they would complain. But ain't God good to give us so many blessings? And undeserving is what we are. We ought to thank him, love and praise him. A little more today and a whole lot more tomorrow. In the times, this is the verse, in the times that we live, so many are unthankful, and many more that fail to see that God has given all. Never having time for God, they're always busy working, and we all are. Even when we don't have a job, we're trying to find one, or find something to do to earn that extra dollar to go ahead and get something to eat, something to drink, or take care of helping somebody else get some things done too. Because, man, if you don't use the medication, you need to try it. Never having time for God, they're always busy working to pay for cars, new homes, TVs, and carpets wall to wall. But ain't God good to give us so many blessings? And undeserving is what we are. We ought to thank him, love him, praise him, a little more today and a whole lot more tomorrow. So there's that. But yeah, we don't have time for much of anything. And back in the day, these women in the 30s and the 20s and everything, and the men and the differences in the masculinity, femininity, everybody kind of had an understanding of where their place was, who they were in their situation, and what to do within any given situation in the scenario. The husband and wife, even if they didn't get along, would find a way to compromise. And it would only take a day or two. And weird enough, back on what they advertised back in the day. This, again, is media. Media is any form of conveyance of a message, okay? Any form of a conveyance of a message. Your speech is media. The way you look at someone is media. Your body motions, movements, your behavior is media. Another thing that's media, and I learned this because I have a friend who is a phenomenal artist. Miss you, Chad. Media can also be translated into digital, as in drafting on a computer, or tangible, as in drafting on a graph paper for drafting for some kind of machinery for design. Artistry, tattooing. All right, it's always there. It's right there. You just got to recognize it. There's always something. And a lot of this stems from conditioning and programming. This media conveys a certain ideal. It conveys a certain message to not necessarily influence, but suggest the idea, which is basically, in a nutshell, I just like saying that because it prefaces the other. In a nutshell, it's taking a seed, putting it right there. I'll leave that where it's at and let the sun make its move. I'll let the air make its move. Let the wind and the water and the rain make its move. Because in every life, like old boy used to say, in every life. What's the matter, Bob?
My computer ruined everyone's video.
Oh, that sucks. So at any rate, media can be transformed into whatever. You're giving, yeah. So they had a certain way of wording things, actions, because they're actors. So you have to convey a message of happiness and everything's all right, even if behind closed doors it's absolute hell. Kids learned early, put on a happy face even when it's no, I don't want to. Throw on a smile anyway. Like it or not, you're gonna deal with it. And if they, were defiant or rebellious during those times, they got a leather strap, a whip, a piece of a tree, whatever their mom could find to throw at them, or dad would take them across their knee. And at that time, in the 20s and the 30s, just before the Depression, it was a good era. The late 1800s saw a lot of trading, a lot of bartering, and a lot of compromise when they decided to figure out that steam engine trains and horses were almost as fast as each other, but the train beat them out, but the horse beat the train, but the train beat the horse, ran out of track. Whatever. But either way, back to the commercial right quick.
This new None Such coffee has a different flavor. A flavor
None
preserved
Such
by
coffee.
vacuum packing.
Can you believe it?
Flavor retained by refrigeration after the jar has been opened. Just taste it. You can't miss that delicate aroma, that clean, mellow taste.
So they're
Yes, in cooking, the way to a man's heart is most of all through the coffee
right.
pot.
wow.
In every jar,
I
you'll
wonder if I'm
find
the
3
only
special
viewer.
pointers, valuable in all methods of making coffee.
Am I my only viewer?
Try new None Such coffee now. Use half the jar. If not 100% satisfied, get all your money back from your grocer without argument. Special for movie week, only 28 cents a pound, plus 3 cents refundable deposit on the jar.
Wow. Party magic.
Hip Hop Graham of Indianapolis, all set to prove the hand is quicker than the eye. Watch closely now. You may want to mystify your friend. After the string is threaded through the straw, he bends the straw and straightens the string. Next, he clips off the piece of the straw and throws it away. Now, he puts the straws together and pulls the string through. Presto! It's still in one piece. Believe it or not. Say, that's slick. Come on, tell us how you did it, Bob. Well, then at least tell us where we can learn tricks like that.
All right, I'm
Come
out.
on, folks, let's look. Well, it's the famous Bike Party and Magic Stunt Book. You can get one for 2 whiz wrappers and 6 cents in coin or stamp. The whiz bar is made in the famous Bike Kitchen. This cellophane wrap for freshness supplies quick energy. The world's biggest candy value, only a nickel. Sold everywhere. Boy, it's good. Remember, get your Party and Magic Stunt Book by sending 2 whiz wrappers and 6 cents in coin or stamp to Paul F. Bike Company, Department 1, Chicago. Full instructions on every whiz wrapper. Hello, everybody. Brooks Henderson speaking. Looks like a snowstorm we're having, but the camera
Yeah, I
was
know.
so interested he came up too close.
No, I'm
Hey,
still
let's
on
go
this
out
one.
and see what it really
I had to
is.
shut this
Not
one down.
snow, but fine, downy powder.
So yeah, and that caught just about everything I said. So
Plenty of
awesome.
no time at all. One,
And I still have no viewers. It's been
no
45
wax
minutes.
to add. The
I'm
glycerin
good.
is the powder. It's a
All right.
complete starching mixture. Now add steaming hot water from faucet or kettle. No boiling, no cooking, no need to skim or strain.
Thank you,
Simply
folks.
stir at perfect hot
Have a
starchy
great
rate.
day. Remember,
See how the
something silly happens, something stupid happens, something crazy happens. You should have been streaming.